In this lesson I will show you how to make a pair of earrings using Murano glass, Millefiori Murano glass, some opal beads, metal beads, and some chain and findings, some eye pins, jump rings, and French ear wires. Let's start by taking one of those jump rings, and I will open this jump ring by using a pair of chain nose pliers. I'll grab the jump ring, and I will also grab the jump ring with the jump ring opener and open it like this. And now I will take the chain and put the chain on the jump ring. This way, and the second, the shorter chain, this way. So I put the two chains on the jump ring, and now I will take one of those pins, eye pins, and put it also on a jump ring, this way. And now I'll grab the jump ring with the pliers and with the jump ring opener and close it. Like this. So I have attached the chain to the eye pin. Now let's straighten the eye pin like this, and I will take the second eye pin and straighten it. This way. And I will take the next jump ring, grab it with the pliers and with the jump ring opener, open it, and I will put the chain like this, and I will put the second chain on the jump ring. And now I will also take the eye pin and put it on the jump ring. Like this. So the second eye pin had this ring attached with the chain. And now let's start making the earring by putting the beads. I will first put the Murano bead, the Millefiori bead, then I'll put the metal bead, and then I will put the opal bead, the semi-precious stone, this way. Now I will measure the end of the pin to see if it is necessary to cut with the cutting pliers, but it looks like the pin is long enough. And now I will create the loop. First of all, I will bend this pin to 90 degrees, and because this opal bead is very easy to break, I will leave 1 millimeter between the last bead and the place where I bend the pin. so that the bead doesn't break. Now I will bend the pin like this with the chain nose pliers. Now I grab the round nose pliers and create the loop. Before I close this loop, I put the fishhook ear wire on the loop like this, and now I can close this loop. Like this. And the first earring is ready. Now let's take the second pin. I'll put the glass bead, the millefiori bead, the metal bead, and the semi-precious stone, the opal bead. Again, let's measure. The pin is long enough, and now I will take the pliers and bend the pin to 90 degrees. Take the round nose pliers to create the loop. Put the fishhook ear wire and close the loop. Like this. So the two earrings are ready now. So these are the finished earrings, glass earrings with the Venetian glass. Let's make a pair of earrings, metal earrings with crosses. I will use a pair of pliers, chain nose pliers, and a jump ring opener. As findings, I will use some jump rings, fishhook ear wires, and some pieces of chain, and the metal crosses. First of all, I will grab the jump ring with the chain nose pliers and open it with the jump ring opener, like this, perhaps a bit more so that I can put the chain, like this. So now I have opened the jump ring, and I will put the fishhook ear wire and also the chain, like this. And now I will grab the jump ring again and close it, like this, and make sure that the chain doesn't come out, that is perfectly closed. And now I will take another jump ring, grab it, and with the jump ring opener I will open the jump ring, like this. And again I will put the cross on the jump ring, like this, and the chain, like this, Now I will grab the jump ring with the pliers, and with the jump ring opener I will close the jump ring this way, and the first earring is ready. So as you can see, I have used the fishhook ear wire, a jump ring here, the chain, and the second jump ring here, and the cross. Now let's make the second earring. Again, I will grab the jump ring, open it with the jump ring opener, like this, put the fishhook ear wire and the chain, like this, and now I will grab the jump ring and close it with the jump ring opener. Make sure the ring is flat, and now this part of the earring is ready. Now I will take the second jump ring, grab it, open it, like this, put the earring, the cross, on the jump ring, like this, and I will also put the chain, like this. Now I grab the end of the jump ring and close it, like this, and I've finished the second earring as well. Like this. I will show you how to make a pair of earrings, of simple earrings, using some painted cowrie shells. As you can see, they are broken on this side so that they can be used as beads. I will also use a pair of pliers, the chain nose pliers, which have the top pointed so that they can grab small parts, small findings like these. Another tool that I'm going to use is the jump ring opener, and I will also need some findings, the fishhook ear wires that we use to hang the earrings in the ears, and the jump rings. Now let's take one of those beads and make the first earring. So I will take the bead and I will take one jump ring and open the jump ring with the jump ring opener and the pliers. I will put the bead on this jump ring, and I will also put the fishhook ear wire on the jump ring. I'll grab the jump ring with the pliers, and with the jump ring opener I will close the jump ring, and I have created the first earring. So this is a very colorful earring, so it can be worn, for example, at the beach. And now let's do the same with the second earring. I will grab the pliers and I'll grab the jump ring, and with the jump ring opener I'll open the jump ring. I'll put the shell on the jump ring, and now I will put the fishhook ear wire on the jump ring. But before I put the fishhook ear wire, I will see how I put the other fishhook ear wire. So if this fishhook ear wire has the top oriented in this direction, the second fishhook ear wire should have the top here oriented in the opposite direction, so that when I put the earrings on my ears, they both face with the painted side towards the front. For example, if I put the ear wire in the same direction this way, let's see what will happen. I will put the second earring on my ear, and the earring will show the back of the shell, not the front of the shell. This is why I will put the fishhook ear wire in this direction, and then they will both show the colorful part. So I will grab the jump ring with the pliers and the jump ring opener and close the jump ring. And now I have also made the second earring. Like this, we have both earrings ready now. So as you can see, for a pair of earrings like this, we only need 2 simple tools and 2 findings. And we have made a pair of colorful earrings that you can wear, for example, at the beach. Pair of earrings using cowrie shells. As you can see, I have chosen cowrie shells that are painted also beside the white ones, and I will show you how to make a pair of earrings, for which you only need 2 tools and also 2 findings. Before we begin, let's talk about the tools and the findings. So for this pair of earrings, we shall use these 2 tools. And let's talk about each one of them. This ring is called the jump ring opener, and as the name suggests, it is used for opening and closing the jump rings. So these are the jump rings. The second tool that we shall need for this type of earrings are these pliers, which are called the chain nose pliers. As you can see, they are pointed here, they are very narrow, so that with this tip of the pliers we can grab the small items. They are used also for bending wire. They have multiple utilities, but in this case we shall also use them for only one purpose, for opening and closing the jump rings together with the jump ring opener. As you can see, characteristic of these pliers is the fact that they have no teeth on this surface. You can see the surface is very flat. The reason for not having teeth is the fact that this way the findings will not be scratched, or will be scratched less. The disadvantage of not having teeth is the fact that they do not grip so well the findings. And And let's talk about the findings now. I've shown you the jump rings, so these are the jump rings. And the jump rings are a very common type of finding that is used for very many jewelry items. They are used for necklaces, for bracelets, for anklets, for very many types of jewelry items. So generally when you make handmade jewelry, you should think about having jump rings, because a lot of jump rings, because you will need them for most of your jewelry items. As you can see, for these earrings I have chosen some large jump rings because of the shape of the cowrie shells. As you can see, these cowrie shells do not have an orifice here so that you could attach a smaller jump ring. They are broken here, so this distance is pretty large, so we shall need a larger jump ring for them. And the second finding that we shall need is this item. This is called a French earwire or a fishhook earwire, and it is used for hanging the earring on your ear, on the earlobe. So we shall only need these two findings for our earrings. And now that I have talked to you about what we need as tools and findings in order to make the earrings, let's start making the earrings. So let's begin by taking the beads, putting them in order like this, and let's start attaching the beads to one another. I'll take a jump ring, I grab it with the pliers, and using the jump ring opener I will open the jump ring. As you can see, I have opened the jump ring very much, because the space of the jump ring, this space, should allow this large bit of shell to go through the jump ring, like this. So I have attached the first bead, and now I will attach the second bead, like this. So I have attached the two beads, and now we are going to close the jump ring. Again, I grab the jump ring with my pliers, and with the jump ring opener I will close it. This way. Like this. So the first two beads have been attached. Now let's attach the next bead, the next shell. I will take the second jump ring, open it like this, and I put it through the first bead and also through the last bead, the second bead, and through the third bead, the last bead. And again I grab it with the pliers like this and close it with the jump ring opener. Like this. And now that I have attached the beads to one another, let's attach the last item, the finding. the fishhook ear wire that, as I've told you, is used in order to hang the earring on the earlobe. I will again use a jump ring to attach the fishhook ear wire to the rest of the earring. I'll grab the jump ring with the pliers, open the jump ring, put the jump ring through the bead and attach the fishhook ear wire. I will mention an important aspect that you should take into consideration. So this is the position of the beads, and the front of the beads faces us, right? So we shall take into consideration that when we make our earrings, we should think about what direction those beads will face. If we want the beads to face this direction, then we must calculate how they will look on the ear. So we must calculate what the face will look like. So let's say that this is the face. This is one ear, and this is the other ear. So we have made the first earring, and if we attach it to the ear, we have to put this fishhook ear wire in this position, in this direction, so that it faces the ear this way. If we put it this way, then our earring will face this direction. If we put it this way, the earring, if we put it into the ear, will be looking like this, right? Because we take it, let's see. We put the earring like this, right? And if you want to hang it in this ear, we'll do this. So what will happen? The earring will face the opposite direction, so we'll see the back of the earring. So be very careful that you calculate how the earring should look in the end, and in what direction the front of the earring should go, and according to that you will attach the fishhook ear wire. So I put the fishhook ear wire this way so that I can hang it in the ear like this. I will put the fishhook ear wire like this, and again I will close the jump ring with the jump ring opener, and our first earring is ready. So this is our first earring. And on the background is our little friend who wants something. I think I'll go to see what the cat wants. Right, kitty? Because you don't let us finish the earrings. So anyway, this is the first earring. As you can see, I have finished the first earring. And then let's make the second earring. And here we have our little friend who wants attention because he's getting bored alone. And now that our little mascot has decided to leave us alone, let's continue to make the other earring, but quickly, because the cat is getting bored when he is alone, and he might decide to bother us again. Now let's make the second earring, and we shall use the same steps that we used for the first earring. So I'll take the jump ring, open it with the jump ring opener and the pliers. I'll open the jump ring a bit more so that the bead can go through the jump ring, and I attach the two beads at the bottom of the earring. And now I close them. And now let's take the second earring. The second jump ring, sorry. So I have the second jump ring, I've opened it, I put the last bead, I close the jump ring, like this, and I have attached the last earring, the last bead to the earring. And now let's also attach the fishhook ear wire. Again, I open the jump ring with the jump ring opener, like this. I put the jump ring through the bead, and as I have told you now, if this earring faced the fishhook ear wire, faced the tip of the fishhook ear wire faced this direction, I will have to put this fishhook ear wire in this direction. Why? Because if we have the face here, one of the jump rings, one of the earrings will face this direction, and the other one must look like this, but it also has to show the front of the beads. Therefore, this fishhook ear wire will go in the opposite direction. So if you are not attentive at this detail, you will finish the earrings and you will notice that one of the earrings is reversed. So you will have to open the jump ring and make the fishhook ear wire open the face the other direction so that the earrings look normal. So these are the two earrings. As you can see, they are dangle earrings, and because I have used these colors, you can match them with something that's with a clothing that has green or red, and you can wear them, for example, at the beach. Generally, the dangle earrings have an elegant look, and they also, because they are long, they also make your neck look longer. So as you can see, it is not difficult to make a pair of earrings like these. The technique for making these earrings is relatively simple because we only need two tools and two types of findings, the jump rings and the fishhook ear wires to hang the earrings on the ear. I will show you how to create a pair of earrings, a pair of animal print earrings using some cowrie shells. As you can see, these cowrie shells have been printed with animal print, and like all cowrie shells, if we want to turn them into jewelry, we need to break them on this side. So these are the shells that I am going to use for these earrings. We shall also need some tools. I will need a pair of pliers, the chain nose pliers, that you can identify by the fact that they are narrow here at the top in order to grab the small findings. And another characteristic of the chain nose pliers is the fact that they have a flat surface without teeth on the inside to prevent them from scratching the findings. Of course, the fact that they have no teeth will make them grab less securely the findings, but nevertheless they will protect the surface of the findings because they will scratch the surface less. So you might risk to lose the findings, so they might fall off the pliers, but on the other hand the pliers will not scratch because they have no teeth. Another tool that I will use is this ring, which is called the jump ring opener. So these two spaces here are made for the jump rings, so a jump ring will fit into this space here, as you can see, and it can be opened and closed with the pliers, like this, and closed. So these are the tools that I will use, and I will also use some findings. On the one hand, I will use the jump ring that I've been telling you about, that I am going to open and close with this jump ring opener, and on the other I will use these fishhook ear wires or French ear wires, which are used in order to put to hang the earrings on the ear. The earrings that I will make will be dangle earrings, and you can wear them, for example, at the beach. Let's start making the earrings. First of all, I will take one of the jump rings. I'll grab it with the pliers, and with the jump ring opener I will open the jump ring. I will take one of those shells, put the shell on the jump ring, and then I will put the fishhook ear wire. I will close the jump ring like this, and I have made the first part of our earring. Of course, if you like a shorter earring, you can just leave the earring like this. If you want a dangle earring, then we shall do the next thing. I'll take another jump ring. Again, I'll open the jump ring. I will put the second shell on this jump ring like this, and I have created the first So now I have created the first earring, as you see. So I have attached the two shells to one another, so that I have created the dangle earring. Now I'll take the remaining findings and I will do the same steps. So I'll take one of the shells, I'll grab the jump ring, I'll open the jump ring, I will put the first shell and then I will also put the second shell on this jump ring. Like this. And now let's close this jump ring as well, this way. And I'll take the second jump ring, I'll open it, I'll put the jump ring on the shell, and now I will put the second fishhook ear wire, but I will make sure that the tip of this fishhook ear wire faces the opposite direction than the other fishhook ear wire. So if this fishhook ear wire here points to the left side, the second fishhook ear wire, this one, will point to the right, so that both earrings will show us the front, the colorful part. So I'll put this fishhook ear wire here and I will close the jump ring. Like this. And now our animal print earrings are both ready. With some simple tools, just two simple tools, the pliers and the jump ring opener, and a few findings, the jump rings and the fishhook ear wires. So this is what the earrings look like from a closer distance. I will show you how to make a pair of wedding earrings using pearls. I will use teardrop pearls and also spherical pearls, white pearls, and I will also need some findings and some tools. Let's begin by talking about the tools that I will use. I will first of all use this type of pliers. These pliers are called chain nose pliers. The chain nose pliers have this narrow end here, which is made for grabbing small parts. So for example, this jump ring is very small, so it is difficult to work with it if you do not have a pair of pliers that are very narrow towards the top so that they can grab the small part. And the pliers are also going to be used to bend the pins. I have two types of pins, and I will tell you exactly what these pins are and what they are used for. So this is a tool that you will use very often for your handmade jewelry, the chain nose pliers. And as detail on this pair of pliers, you will notice that the surface, the inside surface of the pliers, is flat. So it has no teeth here. The purpose, the reason why this surface is flat is that if it doesn't have any teeth, it will not scratch the surface of the metal, of the findings that you use. And another detail that you have to take into consideration when you buy your tools is this little spring here. With your tools for your handmade jewelry, you should also have a spring on your pliers, because the spring will open the tool after you have used it. So if I have, let's say, bent the pin, I release the handles and the pliers open on their own so that I can use them again. So it is very practical when you want to work faster and to work with only one hand. So this spring is also a detail that you should take into consideration when choosing your tools. Another type of pliers that we are going to use to make these earrings are these pliers. These are the cutting pliers. As the name implies, you are going to use them to cut your pins or any other metal parts that you want to cut. In this case, we are going to make earrings, and we will have to cut the pins to the right length. The next pair of pliers are these pliers. These pliers are called round nose pliers because they have these rounded ends here. The round nose pliers are used to create loops on your pins. So you will simply wrap the wire around the pliers and create a loop. As you can see, these pliers also have a spring here, but this spring looks different. There are two metal sheets like this, which meet here in the middle, and they also have the role of opening your pliers if you have closed them. Finding that I will talk about is this small nail. As you can see, it has this end that looks like this, and this item is called a head pin. It is called a head pin because of this end that looks like a nail. So you will use it to put the beads on it, and then you can connect it to the rest of the earring. Another finding that you will use for your beads is this type of pin. This is an eye pin, and it is called an eye pin because of this little loop that it has on its end. It is made to connect one part of the earring to another part of the earring. So for example, if you have a bead on this pin here and you want to make a dangle earring, then you can put another bead like this on the eye pin, and you will connect the eye pin with the head pin like this and make a pair of dangle earrings. So these two types of pins are used for the earrings, and they come in different sizes. You can find the shorter pins than these if you want to put just one bead or two small beads, but there are also pins that are much longer than these, which are designed either for larger beads or for the use of many beads on one pin. Beside the pins, you will also need this item for your earrings. This is called the fishhook ear wire or the French ear wire, and it is used for hanging the earring in the ear. And now that I've talked about the tools and the findings that you will use for the earrings, let's start making the earrings. Let's put some of the findings and the tools away so that we have some space. And now I will take the first pearl, I will take the teardrop pearl and put the bead on it. And now let's measure the length of the pearl, of the pin, sorry, and let's cut the pin. So I will cut the pin around here using the cutting pliers. So I'll grab the pin like this, and I'll cut it using the cutting pliers. And now that I've cut the pin, I will bend the pin. So I will take the pin like this and bend it to 90 degrees using the chain nose pliers. So I have bent the pin this way. And now I will take the round nose pliers to make the loop. So I will grab the end of the pin with the round nose pliers like this and start creating the loop like this. So I have not closed the loop yet. I will put it away for the moment, and now I will do the second part of the earring. I will take an eye pin and put two of those spherical beads like this. And now I will also measure the length of this pin, and I will cut the pin with the cutting pliers like this, and I have cut another fragment of the pin, which I'll put away. And now I have this end of the pin. And again I will take the chain nose pliers, grab the pin and bend the pin. It should be in the same direction with the other loop, otherwise it will look asymmetrical. So I'll bend to 90 degrees the pin with the chain nose pliers, and now I will take the round nose pliers, grab the end of this pin and again start creating the loop. So as you can see here, the top of the pliers, of the round nose pliers, is smaller, whereas the base of the pliers here is larger. So if you want to make a smaller loop, you will use the top of the pliers. If you want to make a larger loop, you'll use this part here, which is larger. So now I am creating this loop like this, and I'm not closing it. First of all, I will take this loop, which is also not finished, not closed. I put it through this eye here, through this loop, and now I am going to grab it with the pliers and close the loop like this. As you can see, I have closed the loop and I've connected the two pins together to make a pair of dangle earrings. And now, to finish the earring, I will put the fishhook ear wire on this loop here, which I haven't closed yet. So I put the fishhook ear wire here, and now I will grab again the round nose pliers, the loop, like this. And I have created the first earring. So this is the first dangle earring, wedding earring. And now let's continue by making the second earring. Again, I will take the pin, the hairpin, and put the pearl, the teardrop pearl, and check the length. So I will cut a bit of this pin with the cutting pliers, like this. So this is the bit I have cut, and with the remaining pin I will create a loop by first taking the chain nose pliers, the one that is flat inside here. I will grab the pin and bend it to 90 degrees like this. So this is the first step in creating the loop on the pin. So first of all, you have to bend it to 90 degrees like this. And the second stage is to grab the pin with the round nose pliers, the end of the pin with the round nose pliers, and start creating the loop like this. Now I have left the loop open like this. I have not closed the loop yet, and I will take the eye pin and put the first pearl, the larger pearl, and then the smaller pearl like this, the two spherical pearls. And now we have to cut a bit of the pin here. So I will again grab the pliers and cut this little bit of the pin. And now I have a shorter pin here, and I will grab the chain nose pliers and bend the pin like this. It has to be bent in the same direction as the other loop. Like this. So if the first loop is this way, the pin has to go in the same direction, so that the two loops will be symmetrical. Now that I've bent the pin, I will take the round nose pliers and grab the end of the pin and start making a loop. And now I will take the first pearl and so I will take this pearl and put the pearl on the unfinished loop on the other loop, and now I will close the first loop using the round nose pliers. And I've created the first loop. I've closed the first loop and created this part of the earring. So all we have to do is attach the fishhook ear wire. So I will take the fishhook ear wire and put it on this loop, this unfinished loop, and I will close this loop too, like this. So now we have finished both earrings. And this is what the wedding earrings, dangle earrings with white pearls look like. So as you can see, you only need a few findings and a few tools to create this nice pair of wedding earrings. Now you can enjoy wearing your handmade earrings. Hello and welcome to this video. I'll show you in this video how to make a pair of handmade earrings using crystals. So these are some transparent crystals that you can use to make a pair of wedding earrings. In order to make those earrings, I have chosen this teardrop crystal. I've also chosen this long crystal and this rounded crystal. As findings, we are going to use some eye pins. They are called eye pins because they have this small loop here which looks like an eye, and this eye has the role of connecting this pin to another pin so that you can create dangle earrings. So all you will have to do is make a loop on this other pin and attach the loop to the eye of your first pin. So you will connect them like this, and you will make dangle earrings. The pin is used for putting the beads on it, as you probably knew. And let's see the other type of pin that we are going to use. This little pin looks like a nail. I don't know if you can see it. And the head of this nail gives the name of the pin. It is called the head pin. So you can also put beads on this pin and make a pair of nice earrings. Besides the two pins, I will also use another type of finding, the fishhook ear wire. This ear wire is called fishhook ear wire or French ear wire, and it is used for hanging the earring on your ear. So beside the findings and the beads, the crystals, you will also need the tools for making the jewelry. And now let's talk about the tools. The first tool and the most important tool for anyone who makes handmade jewelry is this type of pliers. These pliers are called the chain nose pliers, and they are used for bending metal. For example, if you want to bend your wire, you will use this this pair of chain nose pliers. And they are also used for opening and closing jump rings and for any other operation that means handling your metal parts of the jewelry, the findings. The chain nose pliers have a characteristic. They have no teeth on the inside of the pliers. So if all pliers have teeth inside, this type of pliers has no teeth inside, and the reason why these pliers are flat inside is that this prevents the pliers from scratching the pins and any other metal parts that you are working with. They also have a small spring here which opens the pliers after you have used them. Beside the chain nose pliers, you will also use the cutting pliers, and they are used for cutting the wire. And the third type of pliers that I wanted to show you are the round nose pliers, which are rounded at the end, and they are used for creating this type of loops. And in order to create the loop, you simply grab the end of the pin and twist it around these ends, and you will end up having these loops. So if you see the shape of this pair of pliers, these pliers are narrower towards the top and wider towards the base. This means that if you want to make a loop and you make it towards the top of your pliers, the loop will be smaller. If you make the loop towards the base of the pliers, it will be larger. So you can decide exactly on which part of these pliers you want to make your loop. And they also have spring, and this time this spring does not look like a coil, it looks like two sheets of metal that meet here in the middle. And now that I've shown you what findings we need, what beads we need, what tools we need, now let's begin making the earrings themselves. So first of all, I will begin by taking a pin and putting a head pin and putting the teardrop crystal on the pin. I will measure the length of this pin, and I will try to cut just a bit of the pin. So for cutting the end of the pin, I've used the cutting pliers, but I only needed to cut a bit of this pin. The second tool that I will use are the chinos pliers, and I will grab the pin and bend it to 90 degrees like this in order to create a loop. Now let's take an eye pin and put the other crystals like this on the eye pin, and again I will measure this eye pin, and this eye pin is long enough, it doesn't need cutting with the cutting pliers anymore. And I will begin making the loop here as well. I will bend the pin. You should be careful when bending your pins, because with crystals there is the risk that they may break. Small parts of the crystal may break. And now I will take the first crystal and I will create the loop. I will grab the end of the pliers, of the pin with the pliers, and I will start to roll this pin around the end of the pliers, and I will put the next part, the second pin, on this loop, on the loop that I have begun to make, and now I will have to close this loop with the other pin attached. I will take again the round nose pliers and turn this loop like this until I have closed it. And now the two parts, the two pins, are attached, and I have created this part of the dangle earring like this. And now I have to also make a loop on this end. So as I've told you, I bent this pin to 90 degrees, and now I will start making the loop by grabbing the end of the pin like this and turning it around. And let's continue turning the pin around like this. And I have created this little hook. And now let's attach the fishhook ear wire. I've put the fishhook ear wire on this small hook, and now I will close the hook. I will create the loop like this. And now I have created the loop and attached the fishhook ear wire to the rest of the earring. So this is our first earring, wedding earring using white crystals. And now let's continue by creating the second earring. I will take the second head pin, put the pearl on the head pin, and I will check if the pin is long enough. Now this pin is long enough, so I will not have to cut the pin with the cutting pliers. I will take the next tool, the chain nose pliers, and I will grab this pin and bend it to 90 degrees in order to create the loop. I'll take the second eye pin, put the crystals on the eye pin, like this, and I will measure this pin. This pin is long enough, so I won't have to cut it either. And let's create the second loop. So you can leave a bit, like 1 millimeter, between the point where you want to bend the pin and the last crystal, because as I've told you, the crystal might break otherwise. So I will bend the pin to 90 degrees. And now let's create this loop and attach the first pin to the second. I will take the teardrop pearl and grab the end of the pearl, of the crystal. I'll grab this end of the pin and start rolling the pin around the pliers. Now before I close the loop, I will put this pin on the loop and close the loop. And now I have attached these two pins together. Now let's create the second loop here. I will grab the end of the pin with the round nose pliers and start rolling the end of the pin like this. And I've created this hook. On this hook I will put the fishhook ear wire like this. So like this I put the fishhook ear wire on this hook that I've created here. And now let's close the loop here so that the fishhook ear wire doesn't fall off anymore. Like this. And now the second earring is also ready. And now let's see the two finished earrings, wedding earrings with white crystals. So as you can see, using two pins, a head pin and an eye pin, you have created a pair of dangle earrings, because you have connected the two loops here. And then all you had to do was attach the fishhook ear wires, or the French ear wires, to the rest of the earrings. So these are the crystal wedding earrings.